What's going on, YouTube? Chris here. Want to bring you all an update today of Bitcoin, Ethereum, Link, Litecoin, XRP, and Digibyte. Those are the 6 we're going to get into today. I also wanted you to check out my video from last night where we were talking about Zcash, Dash, Bitcoin Cash, and you can see today they've been ripping really hard. Dash is up over 13% right now. It's cracked into the triple digits. It's at 104, and I believe Zcash as well is at $100 right now. So it's nice to see those coins in triple digits. And typically when the supply on those guys, when it's so low that when money enters that coin, it just pumps so hard, fast, and aggressively. So I really like playing those, especially because everything in our world is getting more centralized. I really like the privacy aspect of those. So that's just something I wanted to put on your guys' radar. Not financial advice, but down the road, I think those are coins that are going to continue to do pretty well in the long term when we're looking at the long term here. So I want to get into Bitcoin first, and the main focus that I wanted to talk about today was this Harami pattern that we were looking at here. So we had our flash crash, which obviously was some manipulation there. Then what we had was a Harami pattern. Typically you want to wait for confirmation. We have been getting some confirmation. Yesterday's candle was a very strong candle. We ended up going from around 11,071 all the way up to 11,787. So that was a really nice move. And what we now need to do is get up over top of 11,825. That's going to be the area that we previously got up to, not counting the wick here. We're just talking about closed. A real candle body close was right around that 11,825. So now if we can get up above that, the next target I'm going to be having up here is around 12,387. That's the next target we're going to have for Bitcoin. If we can continue to push, that'd be a nice little move there, close to around, $500-$600 more, could get up into that area. And then we're going to have to see what happens, what type of cooling off period we're going to need. Right now, our RSI is at about 73. So I want you to be aware of that as we're approaching these overhead resistance areas. Some people might even look down to around 12,000 even, where we've wicked up to before. We have a little spot over here that could be acting as overhead resistance. But typically, guys, when it does break a previous high, a lot of times you'll want to run $500, $600, $700. That just typically is how it works in this space. These rips are from $500 to even $2,000 at a time, and a lot of times they come in on the 5-minute time frame. So it's kind of like you have to have your moves prepared in advance so that you can catch and ride these waves the best of your ability. Now, in terms of looking at support, if we are to start falling back down, I'm going to look at the 15 moving average as support. That's going to be at 10,885. I'd like to see a bounce off that. If not, it'd be that 10,562. And I actually want to turn this green for us. Right there, that's going to be the area that I'm going to look at as support, because that was critical resistance that we broke up through. We don't want to start dropping back below that. We need to turn that into support. That's what's going to be very important for Bitcoin moving forward now. But overall, we got to get over this $12,000 range so we can tackle 12,400. Then that could open things up to over $14,000. Okay. And also, guys, if you get some from these videos, don't forget to like, subscribe, share with your friends. Trying for 200 likes on this video. I appreciate all y'all being here with me today. And we're going to get into Ethereum next, but really watch those areas. And I still have my overall alarm at 9,083 right down here, because if we really start dropping down through that, then it'd be 85, 62, and I'd be looking at some different areas. But we want to keep this moving. We consolidated for over 3 months, and we just had a nice strong breakout. We want to keep it moving. So that's very important for Bitcoin, guys. Watch those areas. Next, let's get into Ethereum. Ethereum's at about $400, $398. The thing for Ethereum, we're having a lot of wicks up here. You can see on the RSI, we're starting to have lower highs here, starting to cool down a little bit. We're at 82. We're still up very high. I wouldn't be surprised if we did have some type of cooling down period, but what I don't know if it's going to be is if we actually come all the way back to an area like this 332, or if because we've been so bullish, we might just move sideways for a while and then make that next move up. Again, a lot of the times that's what happens with Ethereum. If you go to past performances here, guys, you can have these massive rips and then you kind of just move sideways a little bit, down a little bit, and then you hit it again. There's not a lot of time. Not a lot of breathing time. And the RSI a lot of times will stay in that overbought territory, sometimes like from 70 to 90 the entire bull market. So you got to be aware of that. And a lot of times this will pump up into the 90s. So that's why I really like going off price action, support, and resistance. I think that's going to help you the most. But overall, I want to hold 332 for support, as well as this 15 moving average, which is just above that. That's going to be at about 343 for support. Overhead resistance we need to get up above is going to be $417. Like I said, RSI is at 82. So we may start either consolidating, moving sideways a little bit, trying to cool everything down, or at least have some type of retracement cooling down period. But we do need that cooling down period so we can get that next pump to the upside. Okay, markets have to breathe, guys, for them to be healthy, and that's what we want, a nice, healthy market, so we can continue this long-term bull market. That's what we want to do. So that's Ethereum. Next, we're going to go into Link. We'll take a look at this. Link's at $9.74. Really made a nice strong move out of this yellow trend line break. That was a great one there. RSI right now is at 71. I wanted to point out the fact that before, when we had these tweezer tops up here, we got to $8.92. Our RSI was up around 85 in that area. Now we actually have a higher price, and our RSI is about 71. So we do have a little bit of that negative divergence that's coming in here, and we have had some higher selling pressure, above average selling pressure as well in this area. So I wouldn't be surprised if we did cool down a little bit more. The nice thing about Link, though, there's no overhead resistance. So if the next whale right now wants to come and push us, again, we definitely could get another pop to the upside, and then we could be running, $10, $11, $12. You'd have to look at $10 psychologically. A lot of round numbers will act as overhead resistance at times. But, that's the good thing about Link. When it breaks the previous high that we had of around $9 there, now it's a blue sky breakout, basically. Again, you're going to try to find, it's going to be that price discovery. And it's really nice to see this uptrend taking place here. Just be careful of that divergence there. And also, guys, when you get a little bit overextended and things like this, they will need to cool down, just like we had in this area when we went from $9 all the way back down to $6.59. It actually hit our target. We wicked down to it, and then we've made this next explosive move. So always look for the market to breathe. That's the number one thing I can tell you. And don't really chase overextended markets. Really wait for that breathing period. Put your buy orders in, and then see what you can get. That's the best way to do it. And build positions, laddering into positions in the crypto market, I think is a very smart thing to do, as opposed to just buying it one time with a lot of money at once. So that's Link. If you like me covering Link, let me know down low, and we're going to move into Litecoin next. Litecoin's at $60.29. Looking good here. We hit our previous overhead resistance area. We wanted to get up to our target was $63.59. We hit that. We wicked up to it. Now, kind of the same situation as Ethereum. We're pushing up to the high that we had of the candle close, about 61.77. We need to get over top of that, but we need more volume is what's going to be important, because we had this fall. Now this is our reaction bounce up through here to try to get over top of the high. It needs to be coming on more volume. So I want to see more volume for Litecoin. That's the main thing, because we're still going to have to candle close up above 63.59 right in that area. If we're able to get up above that, then it really opens us up to a target of almost $80. But we need this to continue to move here. You can see we back tested on a wick this 15 moving average, which is common. But we're going to see if we're going to move sideways and make that next potential move, or if this is going to be the time where we finally get out and over top of those key overhead resistance areas. RSI right now for Litecoin is at 70. We're at 69.33. If we take a look here with the technicals, we have a 0 sell, 10 neutral, 18 buy, oscillators, 0 sell, 9 neutral, 2 buys, and it is throwing a strong buy signal. You can see we're up above all these moving averages. So, guys, that is the overall target for Litecoin. If you're patient and you wait and this really continues to move, the market continues to move, we definitely will be back up here around that 84.44, testing the area that we fell from before during that March crash. Definitely can see us coming back up there and testing that, getting over top of $100 if everything can keep moving. Okay, it's a big if, because it's the cryptocurrency space, but if everything can keep going as planned here, Litecoin will definitely be up around those areas and back into the triple digits. You'll see it. And I know people hate on Litecoin, but guys, it runs hard and fast when it does. Be careful. So next we're going to get into XRP, and that's at 30 cents. XRP, we had some longer wicks up here with higher volume, so there was some profit that being taken here. It almost kind of looks like we're getting into one of these little pennant formations. It's getting tight, so we'll have to see if that's going to be enough to cool down the RSI before we potentially can get that next pop. And the next target I'm going to be looking at is 0.34020 for XRP. That's if we can get over top of 0.31141 is the current overhead resistance area. You see we wicked up to it today, right? And then in terms of support, first area we look at is going to be at 0.28757, and then it's going to be down here around 0.24624. We'd actually call it around 25 cents. That's psychological 25 cents. If we get into our technicals, for XRP, we have a 3 sell, 7 neutral, 18 buy, oscillators 2 sell, 6 neutral, 3 buy, moving averages looking good there. So it's just kind of that question of, are we going to consolidate sideways, or are we going to actually get one of these cooling down periods before we potentially could go up there and target that 35 cents is the area I'm going to be looking at there. So that's XRP, and then we'll get into Digibyte last here. All right, so Digibyte, here we go, guys. This candle close is going to be very important today. If we can candle close above our previous high there of around 0.02708, it's going to be a big deal for us. It could open things up, and we potentially could be up targeting around that 3 cent area. And guys, you got to look at these things in terms of percents, not just dollars and pennies and all that. If Digibyte can make a move up into that area, you're looking at about a 10% move there. That's a really strong move. Remember, a lot of markets don't even move 20% in a full year. So, guys, be grateful we're in this space. But, we start getting up into higher targets of, 3.5 cents, right in that range. You're looking at over 30% if we can keep this moving. And we're up above our 15, our 30, our 60. And we're starting to get a little curl to the upside. And Digibyte is one on the RSI that wasn't as overextended. It's at 62, so it has more room to run than like an Ethereum that's up at 84. So some people may be shifting their money into like a Digibyte here, and we potentially could get this next pop to the upside. The candle close today is going to be very important, though, where we end up closing. If we end up with just a long wick and a lot of rejection, then we're going to have to reevaluate some things, see if we're going to move sideways or cool back down a little bit. But it is nice to see that this top trend line has been defended out of this symmetrical triangle. When we broke out, we back tested it, and now we're trying to move again for Digibyte. If we get into some of the technicals here, we have a 1 sell 10 neutral and a 17 buy oscillator sell 1 neutral, or I'm sorry, 1 sell 9 neutral and a 1 buy there is what we're looking at. And I also want to say to my Digibyte people here, you guys have been great, always leaving the thumbs up, everything. I really like the Digibyte community. I like the Litecoin community. And I put you guys at the end so I can just talk to you a little bit more here and just tell you how much I appreciate those thumbs up and everything that you've been doing to help out the channel. And you keep putting it down there that you're here for Digibyte. I'll keep covering it, and we'll just be able to help each other out. That's the name of this channel here, goal of the channel. So God bless you all, guys. Take care. God bless.